Hey, welcome back. It's me, Wasabi, and we have another episode of Wasabi Has Spoken, a series of short comparison videos comparing two mice to hopefully help my fellow gamers narrow down their options. Just keep in mind that these are my thoughts, personal opinions, and experiences from using both of these wonderful mice. At the end of the day, this series is to help gamers figure out for themselves which mouse suits them best. And today we have the Viper V3 Pro from Razer and Logitech Superlight 2. The Viper V3 Pro is priced at $160. It was released in April this year, has a right-handed symmetrical shape, and an official weight of 55 grams for this white colorway. And next we have the Superlight 2 that's priced at $150. Released in September 2023, has a right-handed symmetrical shape, and an official weight of 60 grams. If you like potatoes, the Superlight 2 is perfect for you. Okay, in all seriousness, not a fan of how either of these mice look, but between the two, the Viper has a little more design going on. The build quality of the Viper V3 Pro is a win here. Not to say that the Superlight 2 is badly built, because it's been feeling good since the day I got mine. They both have a good build, but the Viper feels a little more solid in the hand. Great coatings on both these mice, but I do feel that the coating on the Viper feels a little grippier than the Superlight 2. The coating on the Superlight 2 is still as grippy as it was from day one. How long would the coating of the Viper last? I'm really not sure, because this mouse just came out recently. But if you're looking for a great coating with the most grip on the mouse, the Viper V3 Pro is what I would recommend. Two very different switches here, the optical switches on the Viper V3 Pro and the hybrid optical mechanical switches on the Superlight 2. Most people would prefer the switches of the Viper being a lot lighter and easier to spam, and they do not feel mushy compared to Razer's other mice. Personally, I find the clicks on the Superlight 2 to be a lot more satisfying with the games that I play. Optical switch performance with mechanical tactility aside, they are pretty loud. But I play with IEM, so that's not something that bothers me. But it's something to keep in mind if you game with speakers. The side buttons of the Viper are way nicer to use with more tactile feedback with the clicks on your thumb than the Superlight 2. The Superlight 2's side buttons feel squishy, which is not something many people, including myself, enjoy very much. More tactility and feedback between each step on the Viper V3 Pro scroll wheel, and scroll clicks are easier to press and feel like an actual click. On the other hand, the scroll wheel on the Superlight 2 feels like a dampened scrolling and clicking experience with not much feedback on your finger. Not a huge weight difference between these mice, but if you want the absolute lightest between the two, the Viper V3 Pro is what you should go for. Tech-wise, the Viper V3 Pro has Razer's latest sensor that goes up to 35,000 dpi, and the mouse has a wireless polling rate of up to 8,000 Hz. The Hero 2 sensor on the Superlight 2 goes up to 32,000 dpi, and the mouse has a wireless polling rate of up to 4,000 Hz. And both of these mice include a high polling rate receiver in the box. Performance-wise, there's really not a noticeable difference between the two, but if you're keen on using a mouse with the latest tech, you should probably check out the Viper V3 Pro. Both the Viper V3 Pro and Superlight 2 are pretty damn similar in shape, but I do find that the Viper V3 Pro offers a more comfortable experience for my hand for long hours, while the Superlight 2 is not as comfortable but feels more supportive for intense play. The Superlight 2's extended rear end over the Viper's is something that I appreciate because it provides support in the upper portion of your palm when you use a relaxed claw grip or palm grip. In a way, it makes your hand feel more awake and ready to game. The Viper V3 Pro's shape makes your hand feel a little more relaxed with a gradual hump towards the back and the curves in the side walls. Just a more relaxing feeling in your hand, but it does feel a little wider than the Superlight 2, which will put some people off. Just note that Razer's signature side flares are noticeable on the Viper V3 Pro when you have your fingers extended, which can feel odd and a little uncomfortable, so I find myself curling my fingers just before the flare. For Valorant, I prefer using a Superlight 2. I enjoy the feeling of the clicks. Sound doesn't bother me because, again, I use IEMs and I like the flat sides to freely position my fingers. For Overwatch 2, I usually play much longer sessions compared to other games. The Viper V3 Pro being a more comfortable option is what I would prefer to use here. And for Modern Warfare 3, I like the support of the rear end on the Superlight 2. It puts my hand in a position that feels ready for very quick movement. So which mouse is better value for money? money? You know, this is quite a tough one. The price of these mice aren't too far apart, and the Superlight 2 has been out for quite some time now, so you can probably find very good discounts on it. But if it's within your budget and you want the latest and greatest tech in the mouse, then you should probably check out the Viper V3 Pro. For competitive gaming, I would go with the Superlight 2 for the flat sides and the support of the shape of the hump towards the back. The best all-rounder mouse that you can use comfortably for day-to-day work and has the performance of a high-end gaming mouse would be the Viper V3 Pro. Which mouse is better for small hands? Well, neither of these mice are what I would recommend for small hand sizes. My hand is 17.5 by 9, and I feel if my hand was any smaller, I would not get as much benefit from the shape or control over the mouse. But if you are used to using a mouse of similar size, I would suggest the Superlight 2 because the Viper V3 Pro feels like an overall wider mouse than the Superlight 2 in my opinion, which is a feeling that you may not enjoy so much. With the shape of the Viper V3 Pro, it does give you the impression of a smaller size because it's thinner between your fingers due to the side curves, but it does feel wider in the rest of your hand. So I took a deeper look into the listings of people selling off their Viper V3 Pro, and there's surprisingly quite a number of them for a mouse that's recently hit the market. The most common reason is that it feels too big. So which mouse would I pick? Well, for me, I enjoy the Superlight 2 just a little more. Both are great mice, it really depends on what you look for in a mouse. Though the Viper V3 Pro is a good mouse with a safe shape, personally, and I cannot emphasize more on the meaning of the word personally, because you know how the internet is, I don't find the Viper quite as fun to use for gaming as the Superlight 2. I mainly play first-person shooters, and there's just something so satisfying about how the heavier poppy clicks of the switches feel on the Superlight 2. I don't spam click with the games that I play, so not such a big deal for me, and the loud clicks don't bother me because I use IEMs or headphones when I game. However, the hum can come off a little uncomfortable after long hours of continuous use compared to the Viper V3 Pro. But I appreciate the support in the upper portion of my palm, and the flat sides gives me the freedom to position my fingers where it feels right, instead of side curves that make me feel like my fingers should be in a specific position based on the design. If you're curious to know more about either of these mice, I've done a review on both of them. It goes into more detail of what you can expect from the product itself, some things I like about these mice, and some things I feel could be improved. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful in any way, please leave a like and subscribe to support the channel, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.